We will end inflation and make America affordable again. We're going to get the prices down. We have to get them down. It's too much. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast, not only with insurance, with everything. Tomorrow, I will end inflation. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices. I will end inflation, slash your prices. To rapidly reduce inflation, I will end inflation very quickly. End inflation, slash your prices. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices. We're going to get your prices down. Now we're bringing the...
So on Meet the Press over the weekend, Donald Trump was asked if he was definitely going to bring grocery prices down. And that's what he ran on. That's ostensibly what he won the election on, right? It's because all of his MAGA base was all worried about the price of eggs, right? And he said, oh yeah, I get elected on day one. Those prices are just going to come tumbling down. You're not going to believe it. It's going to be amazing. The usual BS that he spouts. And on Meet the Press on over the weekend, he was asked, are you going to bring grocery prices down? And his quote was to the effect of, well, I can't guarantee it. And once the prices get up, once they get up, it's hard to bring them down. Yeah, it's really hard to bring them down. So MAGA people, you voted for this. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? He lied to you. Again. When are you going to acknowledge that?
Collins and everybody. And inflation's down, interest rates are down, gasoline has come down to a level that we haven't seen in a long time. All things that we wanted to do, because then everything else is going to be coming down. We want it to come down. We want bacon to come down, and groceries, a term I used to use. It's sort of an old-fashioned term, but I used to use it on the campaign trail, those last 90 perfect, beautiful days. We just hit it. And I want to thank Susie. You have done a great job, Susie Wiles. Cost of groceries, a word that I used a lot on the campaign. It's like an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word, it's a very descriptive word. And the groceries are coming down, Brooke, at a level that we're finally getting costs under control in our country.
And people are still buying the lies. There is no way that he can go on stage and genuinely lie and people clap for him, and just like he's just telling the truth, like he's being honest. MAGA has to wake up. Let me know in the comment section. I just went to the grocery store last week and spent $150 for 5 items. A pack of chicken, some milk, some eggs, some water, a pack of ground beef, and I spent $150. Now I'm being exaggerating right now, but literally it felt like that. Like my cart wasn't full, guys. The economy has not gotten better. This chart right here shows the economy since Trump has got into office. It has actually gotten worse. Now that's the S&P 500. Overall, the economy has not gotten better. I don't know where this notion has come from that, oh, since he got in office that everything's gotten better. Maybe back in 2020 during the pandemic or something, but right now, that is not true, guys. So I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Am I the only one that is truly experiencing this right now?
Grocery prices are about to go up again, and it's 100% Donald Trump's fault. With Trump's 25% tariff set to go into place today, you're going to see prices go up on a lot of different things, but groceries are going to be very noticeable. Mexico and Canada are our top 2 importers for agricultural goods, accounting for 42% of agricultural imports. Consider the size of that for a second. 42% of imports of agricultural goods for 350 million people. So what exactly does that cover? Oh, things we don't need, like fruit or vegetables or grains, nothing important. And livestock and meats and sugar and all kinds of products that we spend billions of dollars importing every year. If someone tells you that this is not a big deal, this is a big deal, and you will feel it. Trump has been fucking around with this idea for a long time, and he is about to find out. Very quickly, he will remember that the American people largely voted for him to lower prices, and when he does something that aggressively does the opposite thing, he is going to find out what a mistake that is.
Donald Trump, I want to thank you for the massive increase in gasoline prices that we've seen here in South Florida over the last week. I've seen some stations where the gasoline prices went up 90 cents a gallon. 90 cents a gallon. One of my favorite stations, I won't mention the brand since we're on TikTok, but it went from $2.79 to $3.69. And I took another photo of another station where I was showing gas prices even higher. We can all thank Donald Trump for this increase in gas prices due to his tariffs and due his programs impacting business and industry and the rest of us as consumers here in the United States. Campaigned on lowering inflation, lowering prices, and Donald Trump, you've done nothing but cause prices to go higher and higher with your policies on tariffs and on business, which are only hurting the American people. You told us you were going to fight to lower prices, and in turn, you've done just the opposite. Everything you've done is the opposite of what you told us you would do. Complete opposite. You can see from the photo that I've attached that the cash price is $3.89 and credit is $3.99. This is insane in South Florida. Absolutely insane. What are the gas prices where you are, and how much have they increased? Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burn light bulbs. MAGAs, is it what you voted for to see gas prices go up like this? I thought y'all were complaining about prices and it was all Biden's fault. Well, how is it not Trump's fault when he's the one raising the tariffs? Explain that to me. Love to hear you. FAFO for sure.
See, I told you, Democrats. Donald Trump just said that he got the grocery prices down across all of the United States by 80%. He said he did that.
80%? That's amazing. What stores? Because I just went to the store. The eggs are still $8. Milk is still $5. Where are the prices going down 80%?
Oh, what stores? I don't really know any stores specifically. No one near me actually either. But he did say they're going down 80%.
The store. How do I take advantage of the low prices?
Well, yeah, and that is tricky. But I mean, Trump did, he said I pulled the switch and I brought prices down to 80% like I promised, and now they're cheap. But I mean, I don't know where they are either. But he said. Trump said. If
you're not seeing the prices going down, how will the prices actually? Just because he's saying the prices went down 80%. Doesn't actually mean the prices went. You have to actually see the prices going down when you go shopping. You do.
That's ideally yes, but what I like to do is I just pretend that the prices went down. I pretend that it's not as expensive.
That means the prices didn't go down. If you're just pretending.
Genuine question for those that voted for lower grocery prices. What saith you? That's my question. What saith you? I haven't read the entire Time magazine interview, but he said that it's going to be hard to bring down the price of groceries because once they're high, it's hard to make them lower again. What did you vote for? What did you vote for?
After markets tumbled on Friday and with consumer confidence falling, the president also told me he's not backing down on his tariff plans.
What we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
And the president telling me tariffs are, quote, absolutely permanent. And on fears of foreign automakers raising prices, quote, I couldn't care less if they raise prices because people are going to start buying American-made cars. And on his vow to annex Greenland, the president saying, quote, I never take military force off the table, but I think there's a good possibility that we could do it without military force.
So Trump has just signed an executive order imposing 25% tariffs on imports of automobiles and certain auto parts to end unfair trade practices and protect U.S. national security. So Trump's rapid response page on X posted this in a thread today. For too long, America's automobile industry has been battered by a flood of cheap imports, threatening our domestic industrial base and exposing us to global supply chain vulnerabilities. Enough is enough. Using his authority under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, President Trump is adjusting imports to protect our national security. A 25% tariff will be imposed on the following imports: passenger vehicles including sedans, SUVs, crossovers, minivans, cargo vans, and light trucks. Key automobile parts such as engines, transmissions, powertrain parts, and electrical components. Foreign automobile industries propped up by unfair subsidies and aggressive industrial policies have expanded. Meanwhile, U.S. production has stagnated. We're reversing that trend now. In 1985, U.S.-owned and operated plants built 11 million automobiles, 97% of overall domestic production. In 2024, Americans bought approximately 16 million vehicles, but half were imports. Of the other 8 million vehicles assembled in America and not imported, only 40 to 50% were American-made. Therefore, of the 16 million cars bought by Americans, only 25% of the vehicle content could be categorized as made in America. Our trade deficit in automobile parts hit a staggering $93.5 billion in 2024. The U.S. auto industry employs approximately 1 million Americans. Auto parts manufacturing jobs total approximately 553,300, but we've lost 286,000 auto parts manufacturing jobs since 2000, down 34%. In 2023, US-owned automakers accounted for just 16% of global R&D spending, while the EU dominated with 53%. These tariffs will fuel American ingenuity and bring our edge back. If you want more information on many of these topics, I have a free email newsletter on Substack. The link to that is in my bio. Just go to my profile, click the link, drop your email in, and you'll be good to go. That's all I got for now. I hope to see you there.
I'm so glad I voted for Donald Trump. Now I have a president who's going to instill new manufacturing in America with his 25% tariff on all cars made abroad. That's not what's going to happen. You see, companies care primarily about cost, and they're simply going to weigh their options. And American labor is so expensive that what's most likely going to happen is those companies are just going to continue to make their cars abroad and pay the 25% tariff. And then they're going to pass that new cost to them onto us through higher car prices. And that's simply because 25% tariffs might still be cheaper, most likely will be cheaper than assembling their cars or building their cars inside the United States. That's because American labor is expensive. The reason you have a good salary, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, which you're probably barely getting by with, but when you compare it to the rest of the world, that is far and above the average world salary. And that's because American labor is expensive. So these companies, they're not going to just switch everything to American production. They're most likely going to pay the 25% tariff and then pass that cost onto you through higher car prices.
Ready for cars to increase by thousands of dollars. Just in current news, President Donald Trump stands behind his tariffs. He also says that he does not care if car prices rise, and that will be a good thing because that will force people to buy American-made cars. It looks like Donald Trump's sidekick Elon Musk will benefit from this because in a recent Twitter/X post, Tesla posted from the official account, they posted that Tesla is the most American-made car. While over 50% of vehicles actually finish their manufacturing in the United States, they still depend on parts from countries like Canada or Mexico. Considered American-made or mostly American-made is due to its number on the index. There's a scale based on where the parts are originated from, like transmission, engine, and other parts. Please note that Donald Trump has already put tariffs on steel and aluminum and threatened to put tariffs on copper. Please note that all three are required to make cars. They say that the estimate price range that cars could rise is anywhere between $5,000 and $15,000.
Day 69 of Making America Great Again. Sorry, my phone was about to fall. Trump said that he couldn't care less if auto companies raise prices as a result to his tariffs. He don't care. He don't care one bit. Not one bit. And Teslas are now being protested in Ireland and Canada. The world is standing up to Elon. And I think we could do better. Keep it going. More countries add. Speaking of other countries, Donald Trump said he will use military force if needed to annex Greenland. Apparently, the U.S. Embassy in Paris is trying to dictate to Parisian companies who may have U.S. contracts. They sent them letters demanding that they need to comply with Trump's DEI removal practices. And the French economy minister basically said, if you, because those are the, quote, new America practices, and, quote, not ours. RFK Jr. says he's going to lay off the entire staff that handles AIDS and HIV prevention. And speaking of RFK, have you seen the new scandal involving him? I'm not a fan of Candace Owens, but the girl is spilling tea to everybody about a new, basically sex scandal. Blackmailing emails or something like that. We didn't already know that RFK Jr. is a slime ball because he, had allegedly, he
used to like try to mess with his own kid's babysitter, you're already a slime ball. Like it's a babysitter who's being paid to watch your children, and not only do you task her to watch your bad children, but then she also has to worry about sexual harassment coming from the father. Gross. I just told my husband that I feel like they give us a break on the weekends. Like the Trump administration, they're like, you know what? We have basically destroyed them through the week. Let's let them have their weekends off before we rev it up on Monday, because something's going to happen on Monday. We all know it. Happens every time. But I got chickens in my backyard today. And I'm so excited because eggs, they're expensive. So yeah, that is all I have for today. And hopefully you have a good Sunday. Making America Great Again, day 69.
We don't talk a lot about what life is going to be like after Trump. Because, you know, this cult is going to end eventually. No cult lasts forever. No cult leader is eternal. No dictatorship has lasted forever. I mean, Hitler's reign from start to finish was 12 years and 3 months. We're going on almost 10 years of Trump. At some point, this is all going to end. We're going to reach a climactic state where the bubble is going to burst. There are going to be mass awakenings happening where MAGA is going to start coming out of its fugue state en masse. And when that happens, those people that I've heard from who said, you know, my dad or my mom or my aunt or my brother who used to be the nicest, most generous, most kindest person who's now this crazy MAGA, they're going to come back to who they once were. And they're going to have to reckon with all of the damage that they have caused. They're going to have to come to terms with what they contributed to, what they enabled, what they allowed to happen, what they helped to progress forward. And when that happens, the guilt and the shame that they are going to feel is going to be harrowing. And I don't know if they're prepared for that. Because that's what happened to so many Germans after they realized what they had helped contribute to during the Holocaust. There were people who couldn't even live with themselves anymore, if you're catching my drift. I personally consider myself a pretty resilient person, but I can't even imagine I would have the strength to live with myself knowing that I had all of these years destroyed the relationships with people that I loved the most, relationships I can never repair again, that I contributed to destroying people's lives or even ending their lives. I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing how much damage I helped contribute to, and to think that I had no idea at the time that I thought I was doing what was right. I don't know if I could finish the rest of my life feeling that way. So after Trump, there is going to be an upheaval and a healing period that's going to be really fucking rough. And I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for them. I'm just saying this is what we can expect to happen. And I just don't know if they're ready for that. I don't know if they're ready for what it's going to feel like in the depths of their soul when they figure out what the fuck they've been a part of this entire time.
I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy. We're going to bring those prices way down. A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again.
Now,
Donald Trump's trade war have backfired on his own supporters, and I'm about to show you how. This map shows how retaliatory tariffs from other countries hurt jobs in industries that are mostly in Trump voting areas. Trump put tariffs on imports from other countries, and then those countries responded by putting tariffs on American products. The industries targeted are mostly in places that voted for Donald Trump, and this means that Donald Trump voters are the ones losing jobs or getting hit financially. This is what the map shows. The pink areas are Trump voting counties with jobs affected by tariffs, and the green areas are Harris voting counties with affected jobs. The darker the color, the worse the impact. As you can see, pink areas dominate the map, meaning Trump voters took the biggest hit. Remember that Trump claimed that his tariffs would help America, but in reality his tariffs are destroying America. This is proof that his economic policies have backfired. Instead of his so-called America First agenda, his policies have put America last.
Donald Trump just got blasted by Fox News for the abysmal state of the economy. Yes, Fox News is finally telling the truth about the economy instead of trying to paint this rosy picture for Donald Trump. Take a listen to this.
So markets crash over 700 points today after a bad inflation report, more tariff confusion. Oh, and by the way, Republicans really going to raise taxes?
Yeah, that's Larry Kudlow, who is a huge Trump supporter. He covers for Trump any way he can, but even he can't do it anymore, as the stock market tanked over 700 points today. There is more tariff confusion, as Donald Trump is threatening tariffs against who knows what now. And most importantly, there was an absolutely abysmal inflation report that came out today that showed over 35% of the items that make up core inflation are above 5% right now. That's pandemic numbers. The economy is in the tank for Donald Trump, and even his allies can no longer cover for him. A bad week for Donald Trump ended on a horrible note.
How do we know that Trump derangement syndrome should be in the next DSM? Because now on Reddit, liberals are literally complaining about prices going down. Like and follow.
Trump is literally the only president that I know that sees tariffs and thinks free money. What is the notion that anything you put tariffs on is just going to bring in all this money within the country, guys? Why is it that now we can't have free trade with Canada? Like, what's the deal with that? Who knows? Let me know in the comment section below, because I know we get cars, we get lumber, we get all these different things from Canada and Mexico. Like, I'm not even going to get into Mexico, guys. It blows my mind to really think that he really thinks the economy is going down. And I honestly think this is only the beginning. I truly believe that's only going to get worse from here, guys. I don't see it going down within the next few years, maybe even to a decade. Now, hopefully, now, I don't know if this is really going to work the way we think it is. Hopefully, with them dropping tariffs on cars, maybe that's going to bring more production within the United States. I don't know. That's what it sounds like the plan is. But I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be a long few decades.